Hey there, good morning, I'm John. Today is Monday and brand new week, September 23rd, 2024. I think that's right, yes, 23rd, 2024. This is my daily vlog where I get up each morning and talk about what I've been doing, what I'm doing next, and what the results of those efforts in my experiment to make content creation indefinitely sustainable. So, some more growth, some more good results. And we're getting closer to that big milestone, so let's talk about it. First, let's go back to Friday. In the morning, I published a short. I can't remember which one it was. It was carved out of a longer form video that I released, and it did fine. Then, of course, Friday afternoon was the release of my Friday plays. Now, this time around, I did Crazy Climber. A little known title, because it's quite rare, still is. It was an exclusive you could only get through the club, but I just felt like talking about it, and who knew that video did really, really well. In fact, for a time, it was outpacing River Raid that did so well a couple of weeks ago. But just over the weekend, that Friday Plays has garnered 7,000 views. And still getting plenty of views and plenty of comments. You know, it's interesting. It's even though it's not a super popular one, the fact that it's rare resulted in a lot of engagement about it. It's funny. Speaking of which, not that River Raid is any slouch, we often don't go back and look at these after the fact, except if they're doing particularly well. That River Raid from now, 2 weeks ago, has just gotten a second wind from this past weekend. It's now over 23,000 views for this knucklehead playing an old Atari game. It's tremendous success. So Friday Plays is picking up some momentum, especially in the last few. I thought it was all about game choice, maybe. I mean, I think it maybe still is, but it's also about choosing not just the most popular, but the most interesting. I'm surprised the people got in the door for Crazy Climber, but I'm glad they did. Throughout the rest then of the weekend, of course, I did some podcast preparation for the edit tomorrow. It's a musical podcast episode, so it's going to be a lot more time consuming, so I'm trying to get ahead of the game a little bit. And then, of course, I spent Friday editing, as we talked about on Friday, the interview that I did with Bob DiCrescenzo, homebrew developer whose many of his games got adopted by Atari here recently for this fall's releases. Great guy. What a humble and charming guy I got to talk to. So that video got out. And though it's just an interview, a great response just from Saturday, about 3,200 views, give or take. So with all that good traffic and so much happening this week, let's go ahead and look at the stats. I've once again adjusted the stats, not trying to reflect what's currently going on, but where I think it's going to calm down a little bit. Now, not that I'm hoping for it to. I hope I have to keep adjusting this chart, but realistically, so I adjusted this little chart. Now I've forgotten where I put the middle, like 12.5 thousand and maybe, was it 70? I forget. You can see it. I can't. Anyway, so what does that mean for us? Well, over the last 7 days, our results were, I think now, just off the chart. I think I busted the chart at 20. And it was 20.5 thousand, so right there. Subscribers, 171, which I think is still just off the chart. Again, I just rebuilt it yesterday, so I don't remember. Anyway, a little over 20,000 views, 170 subscribers. And so we talked on Friday. We were at 59,000, 3.5. Our subscriber count over on the main channel. And over the weekend, yeah, was that 3? Almost 400 over the weekend, is that right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Yeah, 59,700 and a half. We're like 250 away. A couple of days probably from hitting 60K. And then it's all zeros again, and we have to start over to go to the next one. But those daunting zeros will hit us. But look how fast we built off of 50 to get to 60. So can't be too upset about that. In fact, 0% upset. So today, talk in a minute about how my days have kind of started to fall into a groove, which I'll talk about in a second. But today in particular, speaking of the groove I'm about to get to, I have a long form that's a relatively easy edit that I think I can try to get to today. I also need to do some prep work because I have a package arriving tomorrow that has 3 new products releasing here in the fall, some of which were teased earlier in the year, to cover. So I need to start prepping, thumbnails and a little research and what I'm going to talk about, because that's 3 more videos stacking up then that's going to arrive Tuesday. And I'm not going to do 3 videos on Tuesday, but if I can get ready, I can do 1 on Tuesday, and we'll see how it goes. So that means the beginning of the fall rush is going to start hitting my doorstep, and that means lots of regular production plus all of these new products to cover. So busy stuff. Also today, I need to record the next Celebrating Yesteryear for Retro Days. Remember, I kept talking last week. If I have time, I do it last week. I didn't. Got to get it done today because my drop dead is to deliver it by Monday because it's for next Saturday. So I want to make sure the editor has plenty of time. I don't want to hamstring her. Also, I'll do a little bit of podcast pre-edit because, as I mentioned, at least if I can get the opening segment done and maybe part of the first segment or something just to get me started, because those can be quite time-consuming to do because you have to lay them down, then you have to layer the music on top of them and then put it all together. So there's an extra step involved that can add 25% to the time involved, and I don't want to make it a 3-hour edit on Tuesday. So try to get some of that done. I might end up doing it in the evening as I'm tinkering. I have a meeting today with one of my contacts at one of the manufacturers, a partner that we have, to talk about upcoming stuff. Again, fall is coming. A lot of stuff is going to start releasing. Yeah, and we have a team meeting, as we do every Monday evening. We'll chat. In fact, it'll be a 2-man team meeting because Mo is actually out of the country right now. He's off handling some overseas, handling some family business that he's dealing with. He'll be back next week, so mud along without him. Tick through that. Okay, I want to talk briefly about, I observed over the weekend that I'm falling is the wrong term, I have evolved into, it was fairly intentional, a pretty stable layout for production throughout the week. And if you've been watching all along, you've probably seen this kind of evolve, right? So like Tuesday's podcast editing day, but it's kind of become, okay, Monday is like, it's prep for the week, laying stuff out, and some light production. So maybe not the big thing, but I can get ready for something. Tuesday is dominated by the podcast edit, and whatever the afternoon leaves me is prep for the next day or light production. Wednesday is my peak production because I have no other scheduled things during Wednesday, and I try not to schedule other things Wednesday so that, you know, if I have a big video I'm working on, Wednesday is like I can dedicate to it. There's nothing in the morning, there's nothing in the afternoon, evening, there's no appointments. And on Wednesday, I'm already thinking about the weekend because when I'm done Wednesday, I have to be ready Thursday to dedicate to the Friday plays, which typically takes 3/4 of the day. Friday plays, you know, from inception to publish is typically about a 4.5 hour endeavor out of your day, so it's a good chunk. And then Friday has now, since the Friday plays is ready on Thursday, it frees up my Friday to be able to now take time to produce something for the weekend, which is add an entire extra long form video into the cycle that is in many cases, in large part, responsible for our influx lately, because it's those weekend videos that are kind of editorial based or essay based that have been getting a lot of traction. So and look, it's become this plan. It's not in stone. I don't write it on a calendar this way, and it's the thing from which I deviate now. So oddly, now that I kind of have this groove, I'm going to right away start deviating because we talked about all these new things are coming in, and so I have to, you know, maybe I miss a Friday plays here or there if I have too many products to deal with, and who knows? Like, I don't plan for that, but you just never know what's going to happen. You know, it's as soon as you have things figured out or when they're going to shift on you. So we'll see what shifts next. Exciting times, a lot going on, and plenty to do today. So that's what I'm going to get after. Of course, I'm going to thank you for popping in to check out today's vlog. If in fact you did, if you're one of those crazy few who are here every day with me, I love you for that. Thank you for being here regularly. Happy to have you, and it really keeps me going. So have yourself a great kickoff to the week. Have a good Monday. Don't forget to find time to do something good for yourself. And I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.